Welcome to our talk show. Before we begin, we would like to make a disclaimer that everything mentioned in this show comes from personal experiences and opinions. We may refer to biblical references and teachings from the man of God, Prophet Philip Banda, but these are also subject to personal interpretation. Our goal is to share our perspectives and experiences, and we encourage our viewers to seek guidance and counsel from trusted sources before making any significant decisions in their lives. Furthermore, the views expressed in this show may not represent the views of Impact for Christ Ministries. We acknowledge that everyone has their own unique journey and circumstances, and what may have worked for us may not necessarily apply to others.
Welcome, everybody, and thank you for tuning in today. Welcome to our youth talk show. Hi, Ruben.
Hi everyone. Hey.
Sorry, clearly I put you on the spot there. Sorry.
Is this how it always feels for you?
No,
Oh,
because I'm prepared. I am a prepared hun.
so what are you saying about me?
That you are unprepared.
Out in this, like when you said hi, Ruben, like I wasn't actually expecting that.
Exactly. That's
Yeah,
what I mean. You
yeah.
are unprepared.
Yeah, I actually was not prepared.
That's okay. I'm sorry. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So today we will be talking about the changes in the work landscape. And most of these changes probably have happened since COVID. So the change in 2020, now everyone is aware that they can actually work online, Teams, Zoom, Google Meet, or whatever instrument people were using to work. And not even just work, I guess even school.
Yeah,
Weren't you in school during COVID?
I was.
What grade were you in?
Excuse me. That's a little too personal.
Do you want
Because
people to? You don't want to expose how old you are.
It's not that I don't want to expose how old I am. I don't want to expose how young I am because
That's what I mean.
you'll be like, "What? You were at this grade during COVID?" And I was in grade 9 during COVID.
When did you finish? Oh, yeah, no, it makes sense.
It doesn't make sense. I was in grade 11 during COVID.
Were you?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah, you went through grade 11 during COVID and stuff like that, and that changed how you went to school, and that changed how companies work, right? So the effects of COVID and stuff and COVID is that we have. Let's start with remote work. Because how it started is that, hey guys, we need to, wear masks. Remember when people would be like coughing and you'd be like, actually,
Yeah.
you need to go home because why are you coughing and coughing the way you're coughing?
Yeah.
So then remote work got introduced because, when they told us that we're going to be in lockdown for what, 21 days?
21 days, yes.
And then 21 days turned into months, and now here we are. So that's how our work landscape has changed. We have remote work, we have hybrid companies, we have non-hybrid companies, and we also have the gig economy. So that's the stuff we'll be diving into today.
So, what is the gig economy?
So the gig economy is people, or it's an economy of people who work based on part-time, freelance. They're not like full-time employees. So what employees is what happens is that each time they do piece of work, it's a piece of work that they work on, or they just signed under a contract of like 6 months or yeah. So that's what the gig economy is. So yeah, so it's people around part-time work and freelance work. That is what the gig economy, or the people who make up the gig economy. So we have the gig economy gets its name from each piece of work being akin to an individual gig. Although such work can fall under multiple names, it has previously been called the sharing economy, mostly called the sharing, and mostly in references to platforms such as Airbnb and the collaborative economy. So that's what the gig economy is. That's what Google tells us.
But just to give a broader explanation, gig. The definition of gig is a job, especially one that is temporary or freelance and performed on an informal or on-demand basis.
Yes.
So a gig.
Yeah. So like jobs that are in like the gig economy or part-time stuff is your tutors, because those are your demands, and like a tutor can tutor 5 kids in an hour each. So it's just, that gig there, gig there, gig there, gig there. Freelancers, I mean, not freelancers, obviously freelancers are part of it. Designers tend to be part of it. Digital strategists tend to be part of the gig economy.
Video editors.
Video editors. And how it works if you're on the gig economy is that you get paid per hour, right? Or per your contract. But most of the time it's per hour. So if you get like a freelance graphic designer, you pay them per hour.
But
not always, but most of the time.
Would you say someone who is active in the gig economy,
they're making chankura?
Yeah, let's say you're a photographer.
Yeah.
And that's free. You work freelance, like
technically you work according to jobs you get.
Yeah,
so yes,
you work on demand.
Yeah.
Could that also be related to entrepreneurship?
Possibly, because you're managing your hours, and the companies you're freelancing for are technically your clients. So maybe it's entrepreneur. Maybe it's apparently there's a difference. I don't know.
I
between
think
entrepreneurship and working for yourself. Someone said that, but I don't know if that's true. I have to do more research on that.
I think it is entrepreneurship
because you're working for yourself.
Yeah, you're working for yourself. If you have a photography business and you market yourself, you build a clientele of different clients, and essentially you do everything on your own, and like you also charge based on how well you think you are. Like as you said, some people they charge hourly, and some people they just give you a once-off fee for like the whole day or something.
Yeah.
So I would say gig economy, entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
More or less the same thing.
Yeah, and this is probably great for especially creatives.
Yes.
I think creatives, from your photographers to your designers to copywriters, I think this is a great way for people to try, if you're struggling to find an internship somewhere or someplace like an internship or a company, I think entering via the gig economy is a great way to kind of set foot into the industry you want to go into. So I think that's the nice part about it's a good place for someone to start.
Yeah.
And if someone does have experience, it's also a good place to end up in when you're like, actually, I know you're going to pay me my money because I've actually been doing this thing and I've been doing this for this long, So I think that's really a nice thing about the gig economy. And I think what's also nice is that you get to choose your hours. A downfall about it, though, because some people I do know who do freelance work, it looks like I'm Goa Central. Because obviously you're trying to because technically you're not limited in how much money you can make. Because let's say you have 5 clients, and these 5 clients you work 5 hours each, and you're saying, okay, you're gonna charge, you're gonna pay me 1,000 rand an hour.
1,000 rand an hour.
1,000. Like, I don't know how it works. I'm saying such as. I'm not, disclaimer, I'm not part of the gig economy like that. So I'm just making these things up. And we've just done research before talking about it. So let's say someone says, I don't know how much freelancers. Well, it can actually, because I wanted to do freelance work, and it can, depending on your experience, you can charge someone 1,000 to 1,500 rand an hour.
Depending on your experience.
Yeah, depending on your experience.
Because if I'm just starting off and say, I just decide one day I'm gonna be a photographer.
Yeah.
And then I charge someone 1,000 rand. That's not realistic.
No, I'm not talking about like people experience. I'm talking in general.
What do you mean?
So I remember there's someone who was looking for someone to help with her social media, and then someone referred me. But now the person who referred me, I was like, okay, how much should I charge? Because obviously I'm new at this. And she was like, no, because you have a bit of experience, you can charge between 1,000 rand an hour to 2,000 rand an hour.
And did you actually charge 1,000 rand an hour?
I did. I said, these are my rates. I said, this is 1,000 rand an hour.
And you got paid
1,000 rand an hour. And then I spoke with her, and then I was like, okay, maybe this is too much for you. So then I was like, actually, let me do what she can afford. So I was like, okay, let me lower this.
Oh.
Right?
So there's actually money in this.
Yeah,
economy.
that's what I'm saying. There can be money. That's what I'm saying. I feel like Goa Central, because, for example,
wait, what's Goa Central?
Like like it's hectic.
It's bad?
Not that it's bad. It's just hectic, because if you're a freelancer, right? Let's go back to the thing of having 5 clients. Okay. You and I, we are freelancers. You're a photographer, and you take the pictures, and I'll do the socials, right?
Okay.
And we're gonna charge this person, because it's 2 of us. We'll say maybe 2,000 rand an hour. So
Listen,
KK.
This could be a business idea. We can actually start something there. Don't you think?
let's continue.
Okay.
So it's like, so then we'll say, so it's a K each, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna like, no, we're gonna charge you 2,000 Rand an hour, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now, if this project takes us 5 hours, that's 10K. That's why freelancers are really expensive.
Nah,
like-
hold up.
No, we're not encouraging freelance. No, let me not say that.
We're not encouraging freelancing.
No, I'm not. I don't know what we're doing. We're just talking about freelancing and the gig economy
Okay, I hear you.
and how it works and like the downfalls. So going back to the
so
downfalls.
looking at both sides.
Yes.
And
So
so we're not encouraging, we're not discouraging.
encouraging,
we're
yeah,
just talking
it's
about
just
it.
talking
Yeah.
about it. So there is a lot of money in freelancing, but if there's a lot of money, that means there's a lot of work.
But also, doesn't that also mean there's a like that economy is saturated with a lot of people? Because if I'm a photographer, what makes me different from
Another
photographer? And
Your work.
so the competition is
It's like, yeah,
saturated.
so like there's a lot of competition in it. So that is a disadvantage of the gig economy because of the competition. But if someone really, really is good at their job, a benefit of the gig economy is referrals.
Yes.
So I know the one freelancer at the old agency I was at, he was referred by someone. And then eventually, he's like, so what happens is, let's say if they like working at a current company, but so what happens is the company couldn't actually afford him. So it's like, okay, let's go under a contract basis. But I'm still your freelancer, but it'll be a contract, right? So freelancers, how it happens is you're gonna work on, I don't know, tiles. That's the stuff you're doing. You're just gonna do stuff for us regarding tiles. Once that tiles project is over, you're done. You don't know if you're gonna get another gig after that or not. So that's the thing with the gig economy, is that you're not guaranteed. It's up and down. This month you can be making 50K. Next month you're not making no money at all because you didn't
Yeah.
get any jobs.
Oh yeah, I hear that. So it's up and down.
So
It's
up
not a
and-
constant
It's
thing.
not a constant thing because you're depending on getting a job from here, getting a job from here, getting a job from here. And then that's why people then get tired because they're pushing hours of work on different things. Because, so like, let's go back to, let's say you're a photographer, I'll manage the socials. So let's say we have 3 clients and one client we work 5 hours, the next client we work 10 hours, and the next client we work 20 hours, right? That's all in 1 week.
That doesn't seem like much
20 hours.
in a week.
But what about the other hours? Okay, let's say it's over 2 days and everyone has a campaign due at the end of this week. So what happens, sometimes what happens that all clients have a deadline on the same week. So all your clients all want something on Friday.
So that means you are.
So that's what I'm saying. So if you are going to choose to enter the gig economy, you need to know how to manage your time and manage it well. Otherwise, you might say yes and yes and yes, and then realize that actually I overbooked myself.
Yeah.
And then now you're not sleeping
Okay.
for
Okay.
like a
Interesting.
whole week. So that's what from the guy I would work who was a freelancer. I even need to ask him. I was like, do you even know what sleep is?
But sleep. Those who sleep. There's a verse in the Bible. That
Yeah,
says
you know what I
sleep.
mean. But
Yeah,
one
yeah,
needs
yeah.
to rest because especially if someone's
Rest-
creative.
bro.
Especially if someone's creative and you're like, you
Oh,
need
yes, true.
to, like, I think it's different. Even, it doesn't matter what you're doing. I think if one is creative, I think to be able to express and do proper work, there needs to be some sort of rest
Definitely.
happening, even if it's 3 hours, a 3 hour nap. So, yeah, those are I don't know if you have any add-ons to that.
I don't.
Okay. All right. At home, please let us know if you are part of the gig economy, if you want to enter, some of the stuff you've faced, or what are the pros and cons of being in the gig economy that Ruben and I didn't talk about. And then another thing we've seen that's happened in our work landscape is the increase in remote work.
What is remote work?
So remote work is when you just work from home. You don't go to an office. Straight. They hire you. Let's say, for example, you work for a company based in the UK, which tends to happen with remote work. You tend to work for, okay, let's not go UK. Let's say Cape Town.
Okay.
A company in Cape Town hires you. So then you're working remotely because you're not based in Cape Town. You're based here.
So is
So you
remote
work from here.
is remote work a good thing or a bad thing to the economy, to people, to companies?
I think it's depending where the remote work is coming from. It's a good and a bad thing. So how I feel about remote work, especially with foreign companies, is that I think they want cheap labor. Because if we go dollar against the rand, if you're paying me, let me do the maths. Let me do the maths.
Okay.
Okay, So let's say you're getting paid $500
A month.
a month, right?
That's a
so
lot.
times by 18. Oh no, it's not a lot. It's like 9,000 rand.
It's like what?
9,000 rand a month.
And that's not a lot. Nah, you live too much of a soft life. How is 9,000 rand not a
No,
lot?
like people who have like bills to pay, like you're paying rent, you're taking kids to school.
Ah, okay. But there are people who,
Yeah, there are, but
Yeah.
yeah, other people make this work.
I mean, when you put it in that perspective, you've got bills to pay, rent.
Like if you're starting off and you're making 9K a month, that's great.
Yeah, that's very great.
That's really because you know all that money is coming to you. You're gonna pay your tithe, and the rest is yours. You're not even gonna pay groceries. You're not paying nothing.
No, what do you mean you're not going to pay groceries?
Maybe you'll contribute there because of something you want to eat.
Oh, okay, valid.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. So let's say they're paying you $500, right? For that.
But that's not cheap labor.
No, but $500 in America compared to here.
So you're saying companies are taking advantage?
Not
of,
that they're taking. Maybe they are, but I don't. Let's not get too deep into it. So that's my personal.
That's your personal take is the companies are taking
They
advantage.
can, not always,
can.
but they can because
I don't think it's taking advantage. If $500 is small there, but a lot
not here. Yeah, that's what.
So
But that's what I'm saying. It's cheap labor, so they know they don't have to invest so much. So I guess everyone is benefiting the company.
And also, I think it
the
also
workers.
depends on the type of work because just a random skill, a basic skill that anyone can learn like within a day or something anyone can do.
Yeah.
It's obviously going to be quite cheaper because you're also easily replaceable.
Yeah.
But let's say you work remote for an IT company
Yeah.
in the US and you are like the number one tech or developer guy and the company needs you, I think you get paid a lot.
Yeah, so it depends on the job, but
Yeah.
you get paid less than a proper IT guy in the States.
Really?
Yeah, because the rand is weaker than the dollar. That's why they tend to do remote work.
Oh, okay. I hear that.
Not all the time. I'm not against remote work. It saves. It's very helpful. It's great also when you're trying to find work or you can't find work.
Yeah.
I've seen remote jobs of people just like data, just typing in
Yeah.
data. But a downside of remote work is the hours. So let's say you do work for the company in the US or Canada. Canada is 6 hours behind.
Oh, so that means you could be working up, like you're up at
So when the
3
rest of
a.m..
us are sleeping,
Yeah.
you're awake. And the rest of us are awake, you're sleeping.
Oh, yeah.
So that
could
would be that would be the downfall of remote work is if it's for another company in another country has very bizarre hours compared to ours. Like I know Europe is maybe like an hour or 2 hours behind from us. So that's not that bad in changing your time schedule when it comes
So what
to
if
work.
it's a local?
Then local
work?
same.
And with remote work, you don't necessarily have to be at home. You can be here
Yeah.
right now and working.
Yes. So you do choose where you want to work when you have remote work. You can work at a cafe. You can work here if you like. You can work wherever you choose you want to work.
Oh man, I'm actually for remote work. I like remote work because okay, me saying I like remote work is more from also a lazy standpoint.
Which is because you need a lot of discipline to do remote work.
true.
Because no one's gonna be hounding you. Be like,
No, but what if you have deadlines?
yeah, you have deadlines, but with those deadlines, you can. I guess we all do it even in school. You'll push. Wait for the last minute, then you're gonna be pushing and grinding to submit your work.
But remote work is good because there's a lot of fees that you cut off, like transportation fees, like petrol. Maybe you're taking a taxi,
Yeah.
Uber, stuff like that.
And I think what would be good with remote work is if you're starting off as a business instead of hiring an office space.
Yeah.
So you hire someone and then you gather in the meeting and during like in the morning on Teams, and then people go back to doing what they want. I also think if businesses want to start building their workforce, I guess remote work would probably be the best way to start. And then once they have enough money to have offices, because renting an office, I would assume it's not cheap.
Yeah. So remote work does cut on costs.
Yeah, it does
Yeah,
for everyone.
For everyone.
For everyone.
Employee or business owner. Yeah.
Both. The downside, though, of remote work is that so I prefer hybrid. I'll go into what hybrid is shortly. But with remote, you don't get to. I like the working with the people, interacting, and
Yeah.
so I'm in the creative space, having brainstorms. It's very difficult to have a brainstorm on Teams.
That's so true. That's
You
so
would not
true.
even for the
Yeah,
even for the show.
Yeah. Like you're just sitting there like on your phone or laptop and you're like, like trying to actually think of like ideas and stuff like that. Yeah, it's very difficult to brainstorm
So
on Teams.
yeah. So I think that's another thing, right? Of can we continue? So that would be another positive of remote work is that, I mean, that would be a negative of remote work is
Yeah.
that it's that human interaction. I think it's important to know. So even when you are working and you have deadlines, it's nice to, when something is due and you're open like, guys, let's do it, let's push, Now there's someone from Bulawayo who you don't know saying, let's push. And you're like, push what? Who are you? Like, whatever.
Yeah.
So at least, when you do tend to interact with people, at least you get to learn their different personalities. You'll learn, even though that eventually will come through on Teams that, this is the feisty one. This is the one who's got a short fuse. Oh, this is the kind one.
Yeah.
This is,
But
yeah.
with remote work, like the social part of doing remote work,
Yeah.
like you're right about like I
you-
want to see the people that I'm working
Yeah.
with. I actually want to socialize with them. Like, and for me, I'm a very social person, so like I want to interact with you.
Yeah.
Like not over the phone.
Yeah.
Like I want to see you.
Yeah.
And workplace drama. Sometimes it's very it's interesting.
You were nana. And I think with remote work, and maybe because I'm like young and I'm starting out in my career, but I think it would probably get boring. And also, I wouldn't learn as much as I would going into the office because something can happen. There can be a conversation that you're not really part of, right? Like it could just be people working at the same table as you and someone saying something and you're like,
Yeah.
wait, come again? Not that that's low-key me eavesdropping. I'm exposing myself. But even like that, someone, if you have a quick question and you need a higher up to ask you, it's just a on the door. If you do
Yeah.
have offices like that have an open door policy, I know other companies are very strict with their offices.
Yeah.
So if you do have that, it's a quick opportunity to just knock on your higher up door, be like, I don't know what's going on. Or if you've made a mistake, or you realize that's happened a lot to me, where I realized I made a mistake and I had to go knock on my manager's door, where I said, yo, I did a boo-boo. I'm so sorry, I made a mistake. So I do think with remote work, such things would be difficult. Imagine typing you made a mistake.
Yeah.
Or typing in Teams, guys, I made a mistake. So I think that's the thing with remote work.
And comfort is dangerous, like
Yeah.
being comfortable is
Yeah.
very dangerous.
And also, like, I think it's home, man. That thing of bringing work vibes into your home is...
Yeah.
As much as you could work at, like, a cafe or anywhere else, doesn't always have to be at home. But, yeah. Yeah. I don't know if you have any add-ons
I
to
don't.
that. And then, so, my favorite type of work model is hybrid. So maybe it's like this because, well, obviously I wasn't working before COVID. I was still studying. So when I entered into the work landscape, it was hybrid. So what I like about hybrid and I guess remote work is the interviewing process. So when you're preparing for interviews, you see the research and you're like, no, I'm thinking, how did they do the interviews before? Like you had to go for first interview and then they called you back. You'd have to go back to that office. That's a lot of, and then next thing they don't give you the job. Now your petrol gone. Like
Yeah.
that time or that taxi money gone. Whereas at least with like remote and hybrid work, your first interview happens online. And then if they like you, they're like, oh, we'd actually like to please come in person. And then you're like, oh, okay, cool. I could, at least it's just one trip, even if you don't get the job, but at least it's one trip compared to the two you would have taken previously. So, so the reason I like hybrid is because also, so hybrid work is when you go into the office, maybe 3 days a week, and then 2 days a week you're working from home, or maybe you go into the office 2 days a week and then you're working from home 3 days a week. So that's what a hybrid work model looks like, and it's my favorite because obviously I'm saving on petrol because traffic, driving to the office is money. Also I like it because, well, I stay by myself. So I don't have like kids distracting me and stuff like that. So I push work better when I'm at home. So it would be a good day if I'm working. I try and do the hard stuff like reports and stuff like that when I'm working from home compared to when I'm at the office. Because when I get to the office, I'm going to want to talk to my workmates. Be like, oh my gosh, how's the baby? How's the kids? Or what did you do this weekend? What you doing? Then other people are planning their weddings. Then I'm going to want to know those endeavors when I get to the office. So when I get to the office, I'm distracted by the people. And then when I'm working from home, I'm pushing. So I prefer hybrid because of that. And I'm able to learn at the office how things are done, how different systems work, how reporting works, and stuff like that. And maybe the benefits of pushing hard that one day I'd like an office like that person overlooking the city.
Not and being envious or
No, it's just like a motivation to
okay,
to
okay,
push, not
okay.
to be envious. No.
yeah. Okay,
no,
I hear you.
Yeah.
But hybrid sounds good. Like you work from home sometimes and you go to the office. Sounds good, but I don't know, man. For me, if I had to choose, I'll choose going, like all the time going. to
Really,
work.
non-hybrid.
Yeah, non-hybrid.
Or maybe I don't know. It's like sometimes human beings. Oh, they're so like irritating. Oh,
Yeah, true. But like
you're every day to the office. Yo,
not every day. Like it's nice if I'm working non-hybrid and I don't work like 5 days a week, at least four.
Oh, we'll
yeah.
also get back to that. That's also like there's been we'll also jump into how people want to shorten the work week. Yeah, but that work week, you're going in 4 of those days straight.
Well, we could take Monday, Tuesday off, Wednesday.
So
Thursday
you want
off.
hybrid, most
Wait. Hybrid?
is you in the office for an X
No,
amount
no,
of
no.
time.
I don't want to work from home. Like when I'm at home, I'm at home.
So then you can work from like a cafe.
No. But I hear you.
Okay, I don't hear you because you've confused me in what you actually want.
Maybe I also don't know what I want.
Okay, you will
I'll
you'll
get there.
You'll figure it out.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think that's why I enjoy hybrid. And those are we're also going to talk about how work. I don't know how to put this, but in our work landscape, how that's for lack of a better word, how things have become kinder. So we will delve into that after the break, how the workplace has become kinder, diversity, inclusivity, and all of those wonderful things after the break.
God cannot speak to all of us to do the same thing one time. There's a time of preparation, time of planting, time of watering, time of fertilizing, time of growth, time of fruit, time of harvest. But you are the only one who plant and harvest same time. Tell your neighbor.
You are the only one who plants and harvests same time.
You are rushing because you compare yourself to other people. And you keep on misfiring because of comments of others. Life is slow. Pole. Be the best of yourself. That means you be free to start. You cannot study to fail. But if I say be number one, I'm stressing you. A lot of family members, uncle, whatever, be doctor, be nurse, be pilot, be what. But this child is creative. It has got nothing to do with all those things. This child is musical. So leave him. Now you might look as if she's doing nothing or is doing nothing. But this child is musical. His full potential will manifest 10, 15 years from now. But our parents, they want instant fame. They want to boast on their children. My daughter is doing medicine. Now the child who's doing musical, that feels as if he's lost. You are not lost. Hello, I'm here to tell you are not lost. The child who is doing sports, for example, he's not lost. He knows what he's doing. Do something that comes naturally to you.
Thank you so much and welcome back. So today we're talking about the change in our work landscape. So we mentioned the gig economy, hybrid work model, non-hybrid work model, and the remote work model. So let's just go back to the gig economy, so which is our freelance and our part-time work model. So we forgot to mention one of the downfalls of that. So is that people either don't pay you or you don't get paid on time
with
with
gig
the gig
economy.
economy. Yeah. So you
People-
could do all the work and you cannot sleep, and client just might not pay you, or you get paid late.
But if the client doesn't pay you, can't you take legal action against them?
You can, but that's also admin, because now that's taking away your hours from actual work you could
And you
be
also
doing.
have to, do you have to pay lawyers and stuff like
Yeah,
that?
you have to pay your lawyers. You have to, So then most of the time it's not even worth it, because now you're in court when you could be working on.
That's not cool. Why would someone? That's really not cool.
It's not cool, but it happens. So if you are thinking of going into the gig economy, just know that there are
Bro.
people who are really in the gig economy, like that, influencers.
Mm-hmm.
Influencers are in the gig economy because they get paid per job, per campaign that they do.
Yeah, oh, yes.
So influencers are part of our gig economy.
Nah, me personally, if you're not paying me, bro.
You just won't go back to that person, unfortunately. That's it.
Yeah, there's a reason why I won't go back to that person.
Because they didn't pay you.
No.
Why?
Why I'm not going back to that person? Because that person won't even be there for me to go back to them.
Yeah.
I'm dealing with that person.
Wow, no, Ruben. I think that's the thing of, because even the people I know who are freelancers, I've heard them like, no, this person didn't pay me. They said they would pay me. So that would be the downfall of the gig economy.
gig economy.
Lovely, because you get to choose your hours and stuff like that, but that would be the downfall.
I'd rather have late payment than non-payment at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then imagine you've got stuff going off on the 1st of each month. There's rent, there's all these things, and now someone's paying you late. Then you're gonna get people knocking on your door. Going. You owe us money.
Yeah.
So yeah. So we're talking about how our work landscape has changed and how offices and workplaces have become kinder and more relaxed. Well, from my personal opinion and from what I have heard our older generations say about how the workplace was.
So the workplace has become kinder.
Well, I mean, for lack of a better word, yes, kinda.
What other word could we use?
Softer.
Softer. Many people say it's a soft generation, so
Yeah. Gen Zs came in and made things soft.
Yeah.
We made mental health a thing. We said, I can't do this, Becky. I'm depressed. I have burnouts. Like, were these things even like these words? Like burnout, 10 years. Well, maybe they were. Maybe because we were younger. They had no job being part of our vocabulary.
But how has the workplace become kinder or
So
softer?
let's start with mental health. So there are places where some companies I know do have like a standby psychologist in, right? So even like the previous, this one place I worked at, they were working on getting psychologists in to like talk to people, but that's because also at the time, there was a lot of work. So obviously, if such things are in place and you're in a place that requires a lot from people, I do believe that if you know you're requiring a lot from your employees, you must also have something to help them bear with all this workload that they are doing to keep this company afloat. you know. So that's what happened. We had they were getting psychologists. There was a place you were able to call. There even like flyers in the bathrooms to call that number if you feel like you're going through the most and stuff. So I do think mental workplaces are taking mental health more seriously, which is important because
Yeah.
how are people supposed to work when mentally they're not grand, you know?
They're not grand, you know. But like that's for me. I wouldn't say that's the workplace becoming kinder.
Yeah, but think okay, maybe not
It's like
intense.
it's necessary.
Yeah, it's
Like,
necessary. It
because
is
people
necessary.
go through stuff actually,
Yeah.
and you don't actually wanna. If you care, if a company cares for the employees, you don't want to lose them because of depression or anxiety, stuff like that. You don't want to lose them because of that. So it's something that's necessary. I don't think it's something that we can say it has made the workplace softer or kinder, but people have become softer if we're being honest. So.
Yeah, yes. So I think that's a really big step in encouraging people is mental health awareness. And then another thing is diversity and inclusivity at the workplace, especially in positions of people on the board. It's baby steps, but I think we're like getting there. Like a few of my friends' mothers are like, they can say they part of the board, and I'm like, shout out to you.
I think it's one of the laws for a company to actually like put some people of color, people of different background and ethnicity, put different people together in the management or the board of a company. I think it's required by law.
Yeah, they are true. But even besides the law, I do think that there is, as much as the law is pushing it, but see already because of the law backing and how the world is changing, that inclusivity and diversity, I think it also gives people from different backgrounds, a chance. I think that's really important.
Yes.
And also that big boys club culture to start needs to relax. That's my personal opinion. That big boys club needs to.
But what do you mean? What is Big Boys Club?
It's like when all the higher ups are just. I know we'll discuss it offline.
How can you bring it up? Now the viewers are also like, man, I want to know what she's talking about.
No, we'll discuss it offline. It's just like when the group of higher ups, I'll mention it briefly, are just men. And then they get to get away with things.
Offline.
Yeah.
We'll discuss it offline.
Yeah. So I think that's really important. Diversity and inclusivity, being able to work, like have a CEO as a woman, be a founder of a place. I think, for me personally, I love to see it. I love, like, even my aunt, she has her own accounting firm. And I'm like, you go, girl. Shine, show us. So I think I really do like that. Even like a few of my friends' moms, they'd be like, no, I have a board meeting. And I'm like, oh, Auntie Ban, shout out to you. Even though those board meetings do look like they sound boring.
They look boring.
Imagine like the whole day you are in a meeting. And they're discussing things that, like for our pockets as the rest of us. Like, did we meet our meeting goals? Are we doing the things that need to be done to keep this company afloat? So I really enjoy that, especially when it's people of color, not just like black people of color, but from coloreds to Indians. I think.
And different age groups as well.
I don't know about the very high up there are inclusive to age, but I guess it depends on the company. Like my old company, there were pretty young people on the board. I think like the head of Strat was like 32. So.
That's young.
Yes, Ruben. 32 is young.
When I say young, I'm thinking 22.
At 22 to be on a board.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Or is there?
I don't know. I feel like they don't have enough experience to be on the board.
What if you've been working since you were 20?
So 2 years experience.
And you're 23. You've been working since you were 20, and you've got 3 years experience.
And you're on a board.
I think people are just. I think there's people who are sharp like that, and people who are just.
You know what? Each to their own. My personal opinion is, 23. You're on a board.
So that's unrealistic. Like,
No, I'm not
if
saying it's.
in
I'm
a-
not
in a
limiting
company-
someone. No, don't do.
I'm not. I'm asking to like.
For me
no, the way you're
personally,
saying,
I feel like it's
seems
like
unrealistic.
someone is just like you're too. You don't have like the people who've been doing something for 10 years, 15 years. So they've seen the ins, the outs. They've seen the changes that have happened. You just finished school now in COVID, and you're part of a board. Unless it's your own company, then you can be part of that board.
No, you see, no. Like, if you've been there for 10, 15 years and you're not part of the board, clearly.
No,
you're
but not all
meant to-
people are part of the board in some companies, even if they've been there for 10, 15 years.
Yeah, then you're not meant to be there. But
I don't know how it works when they choose these things. I just arrived in the workplace. I just arrived.
Yeah, but no, for me, if you're 23, I think, especially if you have the good brains.
No,
for
I'm
it, the
not
good mind
disputing
and
that.
stuff
It's
like
possible.
Yeah.
Like maybe you're like visiting the board. Be like, oh, you're the youngest person to sit with us.
No, I'm the.
Ungaphakathi inside.
Yeah. And when I speak, everyone keeps quiet to listen.
Love it for you, Ruben. Shout
For
out.
me, no, not for me, but I'm giving an example.
No, I get it. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like still.
You feel like it's too young. So
Maybe if you
let's
said
say
like
we
30.
are in the same board, and I'm telling you, Luto, this. How would you feel? Like I'm actually directing you. When I speak, you have to listen.
No,
How-
I'd
how
feel
would you-
like it happens in the workplace where someone is reporting to someone younger than them.
Also, it
It
doesn't.
happens. Yeah.
Doesn't make you feel like.
At the end of the day, you are above me, for lack of a better word. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Like even sometimes you'll end up reporting to someone and you guys are the same age.
And are you your chomies after work?
Chomis after work, maybe depending on that person, but also we don't go to work to make friends. And another thing that has changed is how people dress. I remember growing up, I felt like how my parents used to go to work and how I go to work. Like I understand I'm like not in the same field, but I feel like it's completely different. Like my mom had like heels. She would tops to go to the office. When I wear tops to the office, people are like, "Why are you wearing heels? Where are you going?"
I think it's the type of work.
It is true. I
Yeah.
do different like lawyers will forever be in the black and white and stuff like that. So I agree that it does depend where someone is working. So obviously I'm not like a corporate agency. But even like corporates, I feel like someone can rock jeans and like a formal shirt and formal shoes. Good to go. Whereas I feel like back in the day, I feel like I could be wrong, but I feel like back in the day people used to rock full on suits. And women full on pencil skirts and heels.
I think that's the standardized idea we have of going to office work.
Yeah, because that's what I thought. That's how I
Yeah.
thought. Like you see how I'm dressed today. I really can go to the office like this. And I didn't think that would be it when I was growing up. I thought I'd be in heels and
Now
pencil
you go to work.
skirts.
You go to work in sleepers.
I don't go to work. Well, I know someone at my old place who used to go to work at work in slippers. Yeah, she did. I didn't, but she did.
Would you?
No. Slippers? No.
Why not?
No, it's work. I'm here to make money. Because I also believe how you dress is a good representation of yourself. So now if you're coming to work in slippers and now I'm giving someone instructions, they're going to take me seriously. In my slippers. I'm got to in home clothing, sleepwear. I know way.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess maybe it depends on the situation. Maybe, if someone has that like a lot of money,
Yeah.
right? And they just come off like they private jet and they're stopping off by the office. Then okay, reasonable. Because obviously I've seen you in other things.
yeah.
And yeah, but I don't know. Nah. I would no. I don't know if you have any add-ons to that, Ruben.
For me, with dress code, yeah, I would agree that in a workplace, dress code has changed a lot because I'm also thinking like going to work, everyone should wear like formal stuff like that. But now, people wear jeans and stuff like that to work. And for me, like if I'm wearing slippers and I'm like the manager's up there and I'm telling you, hey, Luto, do this, and you're telling me you wouldn't feel, you said you wouldn't feel comfortable with someone who's caught up as sleeping.
Yes.
Caught up as sleeping to be telling you do this, do that. But you can wear you're basically free with what you're wearing, right? So I don't think that should be an issue.
I'm also a believer of that. How can I explain this? that also how you dress shouldn't also, because someone can come to work in their teeth, like they know
The what?
like they're coming proper, but then they're not actually doing their work. So I also feel like, yes, it's good to think about how you represent yourself to others, but if you're gonna just look dapper and then you're not actually gonna do what you're paid to do,
There's no point.
there's no point. Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. And then you had mentioned a shortened work week. So I don't know if you've had rumors and people trying to start a movement of having a shorter work week.
Oh, I haven't heard of that. Like they wanna, because I know like by law you're not supposed to work like more than how many hours in a week? I think 40 something.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to work more than 40 something hours in a week. So people want to cut that down again.
No, I'm talking about, well, yes. I think it's 30 something, because I think we're supposed to work 7 times 5. Okay, I can't do the math right now. But I think it's 35 hours. We're going to go with 40 hours a week.
Okay.
If you are working over a 40 hours a week, you're being overworked. But I'm talking about the work week. They want to cut it from 5 to 4 days. They want to take, because sometimes the weekend is like
Too short.
you sleep and then all of a sudden it's
Yeah.
Monday again.
Because how are they 5 days?
So they're 5 days. So we go to work Monday to Friday, and now they want to change it to Monday to Thursday. It's nothing, but there've been rumors, there've been talks about people like having a shorter work week. So would you want a shorter work week?
Definitely. Who wouldn't want a shorter work? But I mean, it's less money.
I don't know.
Because if you're working hourly
Yeah.
and you're working Monday to Friday, there's more money. But then you take out that one day. Doesn't that mean less money? Because less work and you're being less productive in the company or whatever.
Yeah.
And so that's less money.
How do I feel about them shortening the work week? I feel mixed feelings about it. I think it's nice, but then we're gonna want another day off. We're gonna then reduce it to 4-day weekends and 3-day work weeks.
So people don't know what they want.
I'm not saying that.
Don't know what are you saying?
I'm saying that because obviously even with this weekend, it started somewhere. People were working 7 days a week, I assume, once upon a time.
I don't think so.
And then wait.
If we're looking biblical, God worked
Yeah, but he rested. He
on the
worked-
seventh day.
He rested on the seventh
Yeah.
day, right?
So-
But then also the Industrial Revolution came in and stuff like that. And because English people were working wire. Like wire, they were working. And then the Industrial Revolution happened. And then people started putting in like laws on labor laws. That's why we have labor laws. Labor laws existed because once upon a time, they didn't exist. You know, paying like minimum wage. Someone could pay you 2 cents and said, Makaplan, what you do is your 2 cents. Even though 2 cents back in the day was a lot, but like let's say, like I'm paying you 2 cents and you're gonna make a plan with your 2 cents. Now there's a minimum wage. There's there's certain laws to protect laborers across the thing. So I guess that's also another way our work landscape has changed. Is that there are certain laws to protect us and to also protect employees, right? Even like the CCMA. Yes, that's it. If you feel like you've been let go, and you're like, "Hi, but why are you letting me go? You were wrong for letting me go." You can go and fight your case. And fight your fight if you're into that.
Now that's
but also, you see, Prophet has taught us that sometimes these things are there to what? Bring us closer to God.
Yeah.
Now you're busy fighting.
I was about to say also that now that's where I could say the trend, the work landscape has become soft because it's not your company. And if they decide that we don't want you anymore, why do you fight to go back? Because
Yeah, I think that's how the work landscape has changed. And the gist of it. I don't know if you have any add-ons to add.
I don't.
No. Okay. So, are we closing the show? I guess
so.
So that's it from us today, guys. We talked about the difference in our work landscape from hybrid to non-hybrid to remote work to the gig economy to diversity at the workplace and inclusivity in the workplace. Even that has its cons, but we'll discuss that at a later time. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Please tune in again next week. We'll see you same time, same place. Bye.
Bye.